Hey everyone, welcome back to Evony with Genghis on server 68. So today we're going to go over siege generals. I'm going to go over, and here's William Wallace. Actually, my first general I used to use for PvP in Battlefield. Didn't know what I was doing, would just press attack, and he was good. Then I moved him onto my wall. Anyways, we're going to go over the free ones, or the ones that you can get in the tavern, using gold, but not real life money. So he's one of them, and he's at the lower end, unfortunately, because he looks cool. He's got the history, he's William Wallace, but just low core stats, and his specialties and all his skills here, they don't really add up to much. Disappointing, because it'd be awesome if such a great story, a great name, was in fact one of the truly great generals. I'm sure back in the day when Evony first started, he was awesome, but he just doesn't hold up now. I wish he'd be like Caesar in terms of where they put a garbage guy here, and then let William Wallace have a new life. But let's go through all the other ones. So William Wallace is available in the tavern. Another very poor one you can get in the tavern is this guy. Increased siege attack 35%, looks awesome, right? But it's not. Anyone who gives you that 35% at the start and no other skill is generally useless, the ones in the tavern. One of the other guys just like this is Jing. He's actually probably the best of the guys who give you 35% as the initial skill. But most of them, just not that good. Anyways, let's keep going on with all the other free ones. So there is also Khalid. Khalid is pretty good for a tavern general. He's one of the first generals I also got, and I used him as a mounted general, but his specialties are all siege, even though he has mount in the thing there. He's actually used to be one of the better mounted generals for guys you didn't do the specialties on. But he is a siege general, and he's better than all the other ones that you could get in the tavern or previously. Now there are a few new ones that they've added. I believe Sherman, yeah, he's now available in the tavern. And not really better than Khalid, just similar, different skill set here. I wouldn't be excited if I got him. Any of those guys that I just talked about, just hold on to them if you get them. You can use them, but you're going to get better eventually. So don't invest in these specialties down here. Do not, any of the ones I just spoke about, do not do any of those on them. None, because you'll get better generals. Now we'll go over the other ones who are excellent, and we could start with Ulysses Grant. He is the best. I'll tell you right now, he's the best, but he needs a dragon. So he has 120 attack, which is the highest you can get, and he has excellent stuff, but right here he needs a dragon, and unfortunately there's only one dragon that he can get, and it is this one right here so far. This is the only one that he can get. As you see, it has siege attack. No other dragons have siege, so you got to take them off your mounted general to use it, unless you're one of those great players who have Wonder 3 or All-Star Dragon, and then you have the luxury of taking that dragon off anyways and using it on Ulysses. But if you don't, then Ulysses Grant is not the dragon for you. I have Ulysses Grant, and I'm kind of just like slowly cultivating him, leaving him there, and not really doing anything with him. There's also this guy in the tavern, Gus. Once again, kind of like William Wallace. Used to be awesome, and just outdated now. Just doesn't help that much. Like 16% on the final specialty. That is very low. I had him, I was excited, and then I found out he was garbage. So Ulysses Grant is the best, but if you don't have a dragon, you're going to want one of these next three. And one of them right here, Mattias. This is the guy that I'm currently using. He is excellent. In my opinion, he's probably third best. He's better than Napoleon, but not quite as good as Ramses, who is a newer general. So Mattias is great. He's everything you want. He doesn't need a dragon, but you could give him a dragon, but he doesn't get that extra 15% buff from having a dragon like Ulysses Grant has. So this guy's good, and he basically, we could say there's a tie between him and Napoleon. They're both excellent generals. Napoleon should be somewhere right around here. Here he is. He's got the nice horse picture. Napoleon is awesome. Increases all troop attacks. So one thing I've kind of heard from some top players in the game, people on older servers or people in beta, they've said that Napoleon's kind of having a big comeback now because of this all troop attack and lots of the big rallies, 30 million. It's hard to get your alliance to say, hey, we need 30 million, 40 million of this one troop type. So with a guy like Napoleon leading and he helps all troop types, some people are thinking maybe those type of generals are making a comeback where you send more than one troop at a time. So I think that would personally be cool if Evony started to make it a little bit more of an accurate war game where you have your horse, you flank from the side, you use different generals, things like that. But who knows? Right now we just get little lines on the screen and a piece of fire if you hit someone. So maybe I'm hoping too much here. So Napoleon and Mattias are basically the second best to this guy here, Ramses. And now that's not including Ulysses. Ulysses is in a whole different category on his own because he needs a dragon and he gets extra powers. So this guy, Ramses, who just came out, rates very, very highly. He's slightly better than Mattias and Napoleon. But if you already have Napoleon or Mattias complete, this guy's not that much better. We're talking like 5% attack better. Like that, in that difference, when you're using siege attack and people are attacking with 1600% siege attack, that's really not that big of a deal. So again, any of these three, Ramses, Mattias, and Napoleon, if you get any of those three, use them. Just start building them up. Don't even worry about it. Unless you have Grant, then you can start building him up if you have the dragons, if you're an elite player. Now, Ulysses Grant got released into the tavern, which only makes sense because he is also available in the fragments here. So that is one of the excellent things here. You could see that you can get some siege generals here. You have those two guys, and I think that's it for them all there. But those are basically, you get Sherman's better than the original tavern guys. He's better than William Wallace. He's better than Gustavus. He's better than that Key guy in China. Maybe he's comparable to Khalid, but anyways, there you get those guys, and then you can get Grant. So I'm kind of holding out hope, hoping that I eventually get a fifth dragon, and I can then use Grant. So I'm personally not cultivating too much on some of my other ones. I should finish off my Mattias. Now I'm in alliance where they will be siege attacking, so I'll have to move some weapons around, do some gear, and cultivate him. Previously, I never needed it. I would just use my wall general. I would just take Joe Johnson off the wall and have him throw him into the rally. If you're going to take that advice and do that, make sure you put another general on the wall. So what I would do if I was doing that, I would take him off and I'd throw Elise on the wall and then he'd be off. I can't do it because Elise is in Forge right now, but I just hit there, select, and then I'd have Joe Johnson available. That's a little trick you can do early on in the game to get by not having a siege general. And early in the game, you're not even going to need one really because you don't have enough siege to spare and you need them for defense. So you won't really need siege usually unless you're in a really good alliance, and you won't need it till probably like right around 1 year. So this alliance I'm in, Nef, our server is now 2 years old, and they probably started, I think I remember hearing them use siege around 8 to 10 months, and they're a very elite alliance. So most alliances won't be that quick. But you'll eventually need them, so just always think long term and try not to waste resources when you're doing siege. So this is Genghis, server 68. Let me know in the comments if you like any different siege generals I didn't comment on, but I think I went over all the ones that there are in the game, as there really aren't that many. So like, subscribe, leave a comment.